Hi, everyone, and welcome to 2023. I'm here with my dear friend Adam Tooney from the Resolve Group. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
I am great, thank you. So Adam is all things Bay Area real estate. He has a phenomenal team. They specialize in the peninsula. And Adam, just tell me quick, what are you seeing out there beginning of 2023?
Things are just starting to ramp up again, with both buyers and sellers. And so I wanted to talk to you because I spoke to a client recently, and he's been on the fence about buying, and I said, hey, it's a great time if we could negotiate a 3-2-1 buy down. He said, what's a 3-2-1 buy down? And I said, well, let me get you some more information about that, and I'll connect you with Nikki James. So Nikki, what is a 3-2-1 buy down, and why is it such a great thing potentially for a buyer?
What the heck is it? Yeah, it's definitely the flavor of the times. And it's something that's relevant because interest rates are up. We all know that they're higher than we would like them to be. They'll probably come down, but it's a temporary way of getting yesterday's interest rates with today's house prices and then refinancing in a couple of years. So I'm just going to share a slide here so you can sort of see how the math works. A buy down is literally that. The interest rate is being bought down. And so if you have a note rate of 6.5%, I've used a loan amount here of $1,088,000. That's because that is the maximum amount of what we call the conforming limit, which is where these loans are allowed. The 3-2-1 buy downs are allowed. If your note rate is 6.5%, what we do is we buy it down in the first year. So year one, we buy it down by 3%, which is where the 3 comes from of the 3-2-1. The second year, we buy it down to 4.5%, which is the 2%. When we buy it down by 1% to 5.5%. So the 3-2-1, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and then your note rate is 6.5. The whole point of this loan is you probably won't have it for the full 4 years. You'll hopefully be refinancing in year 2, 3 is what we suspect will happen. So it gives you those lower rates, gives you the lower payments as a buyer. And it costs, of course, it costs money. It costs about $48,000, as you can see in this example, that's what would be cost. And it has to be paid for by the seller. The money literally goes into an account, and each month when your payment is being made, the lender takes from that account to make sure that they're making enough payments because the note rate is actually 6.5%. One quick note before I ask you some questions on how the heck you get a seller to agree to this is that the money, let's say you refinanced in year 2, you don't lose what went into that pot. That whatever's left over as a buyer comes off the pay down of your loan. So it's not like the money's gone away and the lender walks away with it. So it's a phenomenal program for a buyer. So, which then begs the question of why would a seller pay $50,000 for a buyer's interest rate, Adam?
And so that's where, if a house or a condo has been languishing on the market during the holiday season, and a buyer, or rather a seller, is contemplating a price adjustment, well, that price adjustment usually has to be significant. And what do I mean by significant? Well, it's got to get enough attention or eyeballs on. And so usually the drops in prices are anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. So if a seller's contemplating doing that price adjustment, they say, well, and instead of that, well, why don't we offer this to a buyer as opposed to adjusting the price down? And it's a great incentive, right? It's a great incentive for buyers, and they can get the rate that was being offered, as Nikki mentioned, a year ago. So, take advantage of what's out there right now.
It's a great program. And I think the next step is okay, then if I'm thinking of buying, that's a high payment and I'm paying rent. And we'll talk about that in another presentation here of, well, why would you buy?
Exactly.
Next time.
Well, thank you, Nikki.
All right. Great to see you, Adam. Take care.
You as well.